What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, undefeated junior welterweight world champion, British superstar boxer, Josh Taylor, who is the undisputed junior welterweight world champion, 18 wins, no losses, no draws, 13 big wins by way of knockout. He's 30 years of age, stands at 5'10" with a 70-inch arm reach. Okay, he's scheduled to come back and make his ring return after his undisputed showdown with Jose Ramirez that took place back in May of this year for undisputed. Mega showdown between two undefeated unified world champions, and he got a unanimous decision victory. He will be facing off against his mandatory Jack Cottrell. That will be taking place December 18th of this year. With that said, Josh Taylor, British superstar boxer, never short on words. He weighs in on, as everybody else is, on undefeated two-division world champion, junior lightweight world champion, WBC reigning champion, Mexican superstar boxer, that being Oscar Valdez, testing positive for a banned substance, and that being the case that his trainer, well-renowned trainer, former trainer of the year, and Eddie Reynoso, has 3 people in his camp, most notably 4-division world champion Mexican superstar boxer Saul Canelo Alvarez, who's the unified super middleweight world champion, who also tested positive for clenbuterol. So there's 3 people in Eddie Reynoso's camp now. Oscar Valdez has made the 3rd person to test positive for a banned substance. So Josh Taylor, he took the opportunity to go in on Canelo Alvarez and Oscar Valdez, and he says, I don't know what they're doing down there, but they should be banned. The first time you get caught, you should be banned for life. So he says, the sport of boxing is already risky enough. You're putting it all on the line every time you step through the ropes. So anybody that gets caught should be banned for life. So he's he referred to Oscar Valdez, 29 wins, no losses, no draws, 23 big wins by way of knockout, 30 years of age, 5'5.5", 66-inch arm reach. He will be in action Friday, September 10th, next Friday, against Robson Conceição. And this was a routine as the WBC, World Boxing Council President Mauricio Suleiman. They have a quote-unquote clean boxing program. And the reason I say quote-unquote is because Oscar Valdez tested positive A and B sample for amphetamine, a banned substance, and the WBC decided that they was going to stand behind him, and they decided to say amphetamine shouldn't be a banned substance, okay? When it acts as a masking agency, it allows you to cut weight, and it boosts your stamina. So is it going to give you power? Everybody points to any type of enhancement. They believe that it should give you speed and power, but that's not always the case. The most important thing can be stamina, especially in the sport of boxing. So with that said, Josh Taylor, he says that, the fact that Canelo Alvarez, he tested positive for clenbuterol, they raised the levels, he was suspended for 6 months. He says that both guys should be banned. They should have been banned for life. Now, the only question I have to raise is, I agree with Josh Taylor, because there is no place for that. He goes on to say, there's no place for this in the sport of boxing. The sport is already risky enough. You're putting it all on the line every time you step through the ropes. And no unfair advantage should be allowed, within the sport of boxing. And the response should be quickly, immediately, a lifetime ban out the sport for the very first time you test positive, right? You should have a lifetime ban out the sport of boxing, period. And I agree with Josh Taylor wholeheartedly. 1,000% I agree with Josh Taylor. There is no place for this in the sport of boxing. The only issue I have with Josh Taylor in saying this is that Josh Taylor has 2 mates that tested positive for banned substance. So is he going to say the same and feel the same when it comes to them? Again, I agree with Josh Taylor wholeheartedly that, action should be taken quickly and swiftly. A lifetime ban first action, maybe that's a little steep, but I definitely feel like there should definitely be a swift punishment and a very, very noticeable one, right? But we know that Josh Taylor's close friend, undefeated 2-time heavyweight world champion, British superstar boxer Tyson and Gypsy King Fury, 30 wins, no losses, 1 draw, 21 wins by way of knockout. Tyson Fury, 32 years of age, stands at 6'9" with a 85-inch arm reach, going into his highly anticipated trilogy match with Olympic bronze medalist, former WBC American heavyweight world champion, superstar boxer Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, October 9th. So with that said, after his showdown, that being Tyson Fury, with then reigning heavyweight unified world champion, superstar, future Hall of Famer at the time, he is a Hall of Famer now, and he was on a 10-year reign, that being Vladimir Klitschko, Tyson Fury ended that reign. Well, Tyson Fury and Vladimir Klitschko, they were supposed to have an immediate rematch. And the reason they didn't have an immediate rematch was because Tyson Fury, he cited a few issues that postponed the fight. Then ultimately he cited that he had health issues that he had to attend to. The fight never took place. And then also Tyson Fury, he was suspended for testing positive for a banned substance. Now, Tyson Fury, he cited that it was wild boar meat that was the reason. And then the farmer, Martin Carefoot, now we know who the farmer is. Martin Carefoot provided him wild boar meat, and it was tainted, which saw him and his cousin Huey Fury test positive for a banned substance on the list in UCAD, United Kingdom Anti-Doping Agency. Okay? But then the farmer, Martin Carefoot, he came out and he stated that he absolutely never provided Tyson Fury with wild boar meat, nor his team, nor anybody, and that Tyson Fury and his team, you know, they offered him to step up and say such words to help them, you know, maneuver around it. And he stated that he had proof that he could show that he never even had wild boar meat on his farm. So he was never able to supply them. And then Martin Carefoot, he then stated that it was a lot of pressure, and he decided to retract what he was saying because United Kingdom Anti-Doping Agency, they decided that they was going to launch a fresh new investigation into Tyson Fury and the situation. And Tyson Fury denounced his license in the UK, and UCAD, they stated that, well, there was nothing they can do because he was out of their jurisdiction as long as he boxed outside of the UK. Hence the reason Tyson Fury does not have a license in the UK currently as it stands. Well, we know Josh Taylor and Tyson Fury, they're close mates. So would Josh Taylor say the same when it comes to his close mate in Tyson Fury? Because he should feel the same and have the same train of thought when it comes to close friends, because the sport of boxing is the sport of boxing, regardless whether it's a friend or foe, because when you step through those ropes, you're putting it all on the line. So that's the only way. And then we know Billy Joe Saunders, 2-division world champion, superstar boxer, British superstar boxer. He also tested positive for a banned substance ahead of his highly anticipated title showdown with Demetrius Andrade, undefeated 2-division world champion. And he was pulled from the fight. Now, that was an over-the-counter substance that he used in the UK that's legal, but it's not legal here in the States. And so Billy Joe Saunders had to be removed from the fight. So therefore, again, he tested positive for a banned substance on the list. So is Josh Taylor going to look at those guys the same way he's viewing Oscar Valdez and Canelo Alvarez? One only knows. But nonetheless, I do agree with Josh Taylor and his sentiments that, you know, if you get tested positive for a banned substance and this sport is already risky enough, you're already putting it all on the line, well then you should have some sort of punishment regardless of what you deem to be not that bad, quote unquote, as the WBC is saying that this should be not on the banned substance list because it's not that bad. We even had Mauricio Suleiman, president of WBC, go as far as to say taking amphetamine is like the equivalent of drinking 3 Red Bulls back to back. Well, you drink, there's a reason why Red Bull have, you know, caution, and they tell you only drink 1. So if it's equivalent to drinking 3, well, Red Bull is going to enhance you. It's going to give you stamina. It's going to help you stay up. It's not your natural body working for itself. So an enhancement helps you perform better, and regardless of what area or profession that you're in. So to take a Red Bull, the whole slogan for Red Bull helps you lift you up. It gives you energy. Right? So if you're a professional athlete and you're struggling to push through training camp or workout session and you need a Red Bull, well, guess what? That's an enhancement. So that's a bad example on the part of Mauricio Suleiman to state that amphetamine is the equivalent of taking 3 Red Bulls. It's a banned substance, and we know Oscar Valdez, he pointed to herbal tea that he said he drank, and that's the reason. Well, if you can point to the reason, then you knew you shouldn't have digested it to begin with. You knew they shouldn't have put it in your system because you knew it was on the banned substance list. The fact that you could immediately point to the reasoning behind the failed test tells us everything we need to know, that you knew that you shouldn't have had the tea. So let's see how this unfolds. There's a lot of pressure mounting on Robson Casillas because there's a lot of people, including ESPN's panel, that are against Oscar Valdez being able to continue forward with this fight. So let's see how everything unfolds and plays out. Make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Hey, this is Ebony Bridges, Blonde Bomber, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.